Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus once again. Always coming back, and I want to thank you so very much for coming back with me. You know, I love you so much. That sounds crazy, then. How in the world can I love you? Well, you wouldn't understand, so I won't even try. But I love you so much. And sometimes, as now, love will cause you to do things that needs to be done, things that you found excuses in the past for not doing. But now, love will take you where you need to go to take care of the things that needs to be taken care of. And one of the things that needs to be taken care of is that we as adults, we as people, we as humans need to speak truth to power. We need to speak truth to power. Now whittle down. Don't acquiesce because that's the boss. Don't acquiesce because that's the big shot. No. Speak the truth. And the truth will defend itself. Our nation, as wonderful as it is despicable. To many, it doesn't seem that way. Their experiences have shown them that the nation is great, that the nation is number one. But where the blinders have been removed, the game is tapped. This nation represents the white man's experience. It is founded on lies and deception. This tactic they have used even against other white men, suggesting that there's another force moving this action. The natives, women, Asians, blacks, and animals all have been used for the white man's pleasure. His pleasure has been sustained as a result of such abuse. Abuse still prevalent in the white man's culture. Women paid less for same jobs, less than men are paid. Most minorities pay minimum wages. Gerrymandering to curtail the vote. Lying. Really standing up lying to split the population. Defaming many friends and glorifying the enemy. Creating poverty and crime and glorifying the enemy and violence. What more do you need? Must the military be ordered to fire on the caravan if it comes to the borders? Will you accept the evilness in this, the evilness of this nation, the evilness of this nation, as is all nations of the world at that time? Really, would we have to go and do what has been done in other totalitarian nations? You've seen it. You've seen documentaries where people have been mowed down, shot down because they didn't bow down to the powers that be. Is that what's going to happen here before you recognize that we are not that special child of God? I hope not. That's the bad news. Now the good news is this. It's truth. And what is the truth? Well, as it applies to us in today's times, I want to remind you that no human on earth owns anything on earth. Now, I'm talking to you from a perspective of clearing up the mess. Clearing up the mess. Getting you to see things different. To understand things different. And to appreciate that difference can be great. And to start, I want you to recognize that no human owns anything. No human had anything to do with anything that exists. I mean, the sense, the brain that man has belongs to another power. In that sense, so no man owns any oil wells, even though there are names on it. Any other mineral that's being mined, even though there are names on it. Gold, coal, iron, ores, nothing. Land, water, no. You can't own that. Now, but all things were made usable for the benefit of humankind. All humans are made to serve God by serving one another. Each has been designed in such a way that when each one contributes that gift of service, it rewards them immediately by being their greatest joy. It rewards the people by its special significance necessary in creating all the goods and all the services required for survival, for peace, for prosperity and joy, for the fulfillment of dreams. And all of this without hate. And everyone wins. Unlike the 1.6 billion, there were one winner, then a lot of people, several people won a couple million. But in this one, 7 billion plus however many people can be winners. Man, oh man, oh man. I don't see how you can let anything keep you. Now, I know many of you might be saying, well, since you're talking about it so much, I don't see you got nothing. No, see, that's the way God works. God don't play me having something and you got nothing. God is saying that if you are so important, if all of us are so important, and I'm supposed to be a spokesman for us, then let me make sure that I'm authentic by evidencing the fact that you got it. You're getting it. If we can't get it all at the same time, you get it first. Mine coming. Now, you know the world don't play nothing like that. No. I tell you this. The earth and all of its wonders is for you, the human race. To create heaven, I want you to know, to create it on earth or to die trying. You were deceived then as you are now. Today the population is as dumb, they're as ignorant and lost. They're suffering from a lack when God has given you everything. But God is your God, not money or those behind money. You give the authority of your life to the power that gave you life, not any human, not even the white man and his rule. Now, don't think I'm picking on the white man. I'm not picking on the white man. Everybody knows the story, especially the American story Well, if you're here, you do. You know how we are. You know how the nation got started. And you know how it's been progressing all along. And you know that's the same way it happens today. Now, it got us started and got us here. But it never was proper. It never was right. It was, the only thing it did was got us here. And for those who were trying to get here at all costs, it was fantastic for them. The others were just dragged along to help carry the process through for those that were satisfied. But the ones who helped carry it through so you could be satisfied, they out here, those are the ones that eat the chitlins, the gizzards, the hearts, the toenails. Those are the ones that's eating that stuff. Those are the ones that's eating corn shucks, banana peelings, dirt. Hey, man, golly. Come on, y'all. Well, my whole mission, ladies and gentlemen, of the United States, whether I talk about being president, I don't want you to know I don't want to be president. No, I'll be too old to be president. But I do want everything that I've ever said. I want my peace. I want my prosperity. I want my happiness. And I want my joy in life. I want to receive it and I want to enjoy it all over the world. I want to fly here, there. And I know one thing. I don't have the right to do or to be able to do any of that if all of you can share in that same process anything that you want to. Not the same things that I do, but whatever you want to do. If you can't do that. And so what the mission then becomes is to determine, for you and I to determine how in the world can we achieve that? How can we do that? How can we just be just like that? It's simple if we start thinking about other people. Like you want other people to think about you. Think about other people like you want God to think about you. So you think like you, that God is in you when you think about other people. You ain't going to mess with those people. If you're not going to mess over people because you care about them, because you're thinking about them, that means you're not going to let no policy plan, no decision making, nothing come through that's going to cause any harm or any negativity that would affect your compassion for one another. So it becomes clear how to straighten this mess out. So I'm inviting all of you to try God. I want you to know that freedom is freedom. God is freedom. Don't worry about the dollar. You don't need the dollar. Can you believe it? The dollar? All your life you've been dreaming about the dollar. You want that dollar. You just tried everything you possibly could to win that $1.6 billion. You didn't, but you tried. That dollar, that money. Woo-wee. Got to have that money. And all of a sudden you find that you don't need any of that money. And the hassles that you went through to get that money is gone. That hassle, you don't have to worry about that hassle no more. You don't have to worry about a bill collector. You don't have to worry about this fee or this taxation or this. You don't have to worry about any of that. Why? Because God got a system that's fantastic. Y'all better listen. God got a system that's fantastic. It's great. It's great. It's liberating. It opens the doors. You know, right now we see, and then I'm going to close, but I just want to make this little point before I go. Right now we see technology advancing, right? We see when you go to the supermarkets and other stores, department stores. You don't even have to need the cashiers anymore. They got this little checkout line. Some people get pissed off. You're taking the jobs from the people. But anyway, they got them doing. In fact, basically every job that humans do today, not all jobs, but many jobs that humans do today, they already got robots or whatever other technological advances are doing those jobs. And so that's great. But in today's society, it means you lost your job. You stuck with bills now that you can't even pay because you ain't got no job. And they trying to cut the welfare thing so you still won't have enough to get by. That's the world's way. That's the old system way that we've been grew up in. But that ain't the way. that ain't the way of peace. That ain't the way of prosperity, happiness. Cause it's simple. Look here. You go to the library, law library. Man, they got so many books written on the federal law and all those statutes and stuff they got. Same thing for the state. Man, they got so many laws. Trying to control and manipulate people's lives rather than leaving people alone and letting people be free and setting systems up that are permitted people to be free. I mean truly free, so there's no pleasure, there's no joy, and there's nothing trying to exploit anyone. Man, now that's talking about some freedom. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. That's the kind of stuff God is about. And ain't no Republican, ain't no Democrat, ain't no rich man, ain't no money man ever think about nothing like that. I guess you might have to be poor as me. Oh, one other thing, I might have left this out. I made a point that you got to be committed, having had your eyes open to see the truth, be committed to that truth in such a way that that truth has effect on darkness till the darkness is removed. And that freedom and liberation now has spread throughout everywhere, or the nation, or the state, where we're talking about. You got to make sure that happens because that's what the light does. And if the darkness is so overwhelming, and doesn't matter how bright you shine, you're not having any effect on that darkness, you got two options. You really don't have one. But for the sake of people who are listening, you got two options. You can either recognize the fact that you have no real force in this wilderness, so you can stop beating your head against the wall and become a part of the darkness. Step on back in the dark. Or you can glory in the fact that out of the whole population, it is only you that is receptive to the love of God, that you would commit all that the darkness is about to stand up for light in hopes that they might see. Whoa, boy. When you get that attitude, and somebody come in trying to kill you, they say, well, die trying. Well, hey, my attitude is this. When you love, like I've spoken it to you, and some turkey talking about killing you like they did King and Malcolm X, and Abraham Lincoln, and the Kennedy brothers, and some of those others. Boy, I bet you every night these guys went to bed. They went to bed and said, well, Lord, You got us through the day. But when they wake up the next day, they wake up anxious. They wake up excited. Excited because they know what they are doing is great. They know what they're doing is glorifying truth. What they're doing is glorifying the creation of the world and the future of the world. And they know it is in total opposition to the darkness. And they know that the darkness don't like that. But they know still that it is so wonderful what they're doing till they are rejoicing in doing it. And they know that at any moment their lives might end. They don't know what moment, but they know it might end at any moment. And because they know it might end at any moment, it makes their life more exciting because they know what they're doing. They're not guessing. They're not playing games. They're not doing what this boss is saying or this corporation is saying. They're doing what the master is saying. And when the master tells you something to do it, you're doing it. Oh, man. Oh, ain't no job. It's just a joy. So, is that all I want to say? Yeah, truth to power. Yep. One last thing, and I'm gone. We've been taught in our darkness that this is the greatest country on the face of the earth. Don't feel bad because I say it's not true. The reason I say don't feel bad is because in Russia, in that dark shadow, they are taught that they are the greatest nation on the face of the earth. In China, they are taught that they are the greatest nation on the face of the earth. Did you know that in North Korea, people say North Korea people are so poor and suffering all this kind of poverty. Be that as it may, those people are taught that they are the greatest nation on the face of the earth. And anything that they might be suffering, they're suffering it because there are powers that want to bring them down. Hey, they're talking about you, trying to bring them down. So, when we talking about all of these different powers, then why not talk about one that does what none of the others do? Solve the problem, socially and economically. All right. Thank you once again, Eddie Marcus, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. Bye-bye.